It's crazy and it's great. It's grand opening sale ever. All great crazy day stores are celebrating two grand opening. Crazy Days new. Say us and go back to the store. 350 Jericho Turf like we're a guaranteed low sale prices on anything and everything in home entertainment. Shop around. Get the lowest sale prices you can find, but don't buy anything you're using Crazy Days. Go crazy and he will see you. It's crazy and it's great. It's grand opening sale ever. Going on now at all great Crazy Day locations where prices are insane.
Do you know the way to the Magic Kingdom?
When you're hungry for a burrito, really hungry for a taco, you know what I mean? Got a craving for a burrito or two. Wanna beat me close started? Here's what you do. You say, hey, what you say? We all go down to Taco Bell today. And here's the Taco
of man.
Imagine that you hold the exclusive patent on the video cassette. How much do you think you'd be worth today? The birth of the video cassette changed the lifestyle of millions and made some people fabulously wealthy. And it's led directly to the huge success of this. One of the largest, most dynamic video store chains in the country, West Coast Video. America's favorite video store with over 600 stores, many of them franchised. West Coast Video can help make you successful in this business. And if you qualify, we're willing to share our formula with you. Start building your future now. No one knows how to help you do that better than West Coast Video.
For details on owning your own West Coast Video franchise, pick up the phone and call 1-800-532-8100. That's 1-800-532-8100. Turning in life is every ball. So call West Coast Video right now.
From High Technology, the computer store, introducing Apple II, the easy-to-operate home computer. Just hook it up to your TV to create dazzling color displays. Or you can balance your checkbook. Kids can teach themselves arithmetic. Or the family can invent their own Pong games. The possibilities are endless. It's called Apple II, the personal computer. See it at High Technology, the computer store.
The toy that lets you create beautiful pictures with light. Work with colorful pegs that glow with light. Light bulb not included. Make people, animals, things. And with refills, Bugs Bunny or Bozo the Clown. You can make lots of pretty pictures with Light Bright from Hasbro. With a built-in computer. Hey, who's in there?
In 1933, Hess began with one little truck. Back then, a child could only dream of owning one like that. Today, every child can have a sturdy replica of the first Hess truck with doors that open and close, 6 real rubber wheels, real lights front and back, and a bank in the tank where your child can start saving toward his dreams. Get this fully assembled Hess toy truck, ever-ready battery included, for $3.99 at Hess gasoline stations. Season's greetings from the people at Hess.
Drive a funny car to make a serious point. Look, you're getting gasoline. On regular unleaded engines, but on technical super unleaded, I get performance.
Oh, it's the Credit Mac Daddy.
The Credit Mac Daddy is in the house, walking, talking, bringing it down. I know what you need. You need a car, one that looks good, that'll take you very far. Got credit problems? Not these days. The Credit Mac Daddy gets you out of the haze. If you got a good job and $7.99, call the Credit Mac Daddy, leave your worries behind. Georgia Car Credit in Moultrie, Tifton, and Thomasville.
Soon to be in Albany and Valdosta.
Great cars, no credit check.
It's as easy as pie.
Ask Mr. Owl for his money.
Don't believe me? Take a peek now. Hop, 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 hop. Boys and girls, get mom and dad out of the room. I want to talk to you about buying something. Good question. Hop, hop. Tell them you don't want candy. You don't want flowers. You don't want an Easter basket. No, no, no. You
expensive guitar or folk guitar, electric guitar, amp, thousands of guitars, more than anyone else in the world. Hop,
How many
hop,
loads
hop,
does it take
lots
to
of
get
cash.
to the Tootsie Roll center of a Tootsie Pop?
I am the real East
The
of
world
645
may
Titus
never know.
Avenue. Great House of Guitars, 20th anniversary sale. Hop, hop.
If you've got a passion for fashion, and you've got a craving for saving, take the wheel of your automobile and swing on down to Ideal.
You can buy 2 outfits for a little more than the regular price of one at the Ideal Manufacturing Company. Ideal has everything. So why pay regular prices at regular retail stores? Take this tip. Make the trip to Ideal.
Say you're getting tired of lettuce and tomato hamburgers in this town that don't quite make it? Yeah! You say that just once you'd like your hamburger hot and your lettuce and tomato cool and crisp all at the same time? Yeah! Well, I say you got it. I'm talking McDonald's new lettuce and tomato hamburger. The McDLT. I'm talking quarter pound of beef on the hot side.
And the hot stays hot.
The new McDLT. Crisp lettuce and cool. Stays cool. The beef's cool. Put it together. This is the coolest.
Hot cool. McDLT. It's the good taste of
the best taste burger.
Up, I'm gonna make it. Here, hope that cutting. Save only $300. That's 4 resistant half-inch 99. For rich man's carpet at a working man's price, visit Carpet and Tile Bargains in Hazelwood,
Veterans Carpet in Collinsville,
and Rothman's Carpet Outlet in Fairview Heights.
That's when you know you need it, and you know you need it bad. You say it every song, what makes it go so fast? And later on you wonder what makes the winter last. While the springtime you've been waiting for never comes somehow. That's when you know you need it, and you know you need it. Now you need the sunshine and sea breeze, soft sand and palm trees of Florida. Florida, when you need it bad, we've got it good. When you need it bad, come to Florida, 'cause we got it good here. You need it bad, we've got it good. When you need it bad, come to Florida, 'cause we got it good here. You need it bad, we've got it good. When you need it bad, come to Florida. The scenery, summer sidewalks seem to drain your body dry. When the city smoke can choke the very sunlight from your sky. When your suit feels like a prison and the pressure's getting tight. That's when you know you need it, and you know you need it right. You need the outdoors and sunbeams, great shores and cool streams of Florida. Florida, ride with the air, play with the sea, run fresh and free, be in Florida, 'cause we got it good here. You need it bad, we've got it good. When you need it bad, come to Florida, 'cause we got it good here. You need it bad.
Attention, please. Eastern Airlines Flight 19, now ready for departure.
Welcome aboard the Walt Disney World Express Monorail. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we're entering the vacation kingdom of the world.
There's enough land here to hold all the ideas and plans we could possibly imagine. We call it Epcot. Will be our experimental prototype city of tomorrow.
Welcome to another episode of the Retro Disney World Podcast, taking you back to the vacation kingdom of the world, the way it was, and the way it is in your memories.
All right, welcome to another episode of the Retro Disney World Home Movie Night. How's it going tonight, everybody? We've got Mr. Brian P. Miles coming in from, wow, looks like you're in front of the Castle Cake. Must be a celebration going on tonight.
Yeah, we're celebrating Hal Bauer's 75th birthday.
We got a little bit of music right now, so everybody dance. Can we hear it? No, you guys can't hear it, but everybody else can be. Come on. Got about 45 seconds of this disco. Yeah, come on, JT, do the moves. Everybody's clapping along. Brian put this together.
He's the guy sitting on the bench at the dance, like, I'm not going out there. Look at those guys.
But it's movie night, so Brian recorded this little song. So we've got a little bit of out there, and it ended. So that's all we've got. So if you want to hear that again, we'll play that towards the end. So
it's going to be released on KTEL.
Oh, when does it go BMG? So anybody who wants only a penny per CD.
You get the Columbia Records.
That's right. All right. Well, the birthday boy, Mr. Hal Bowers from Pirates of the Caribbean. How you doing tonight, birthday boy?
Good. Doing just fine.
Thank you for spending your time with us this evening instead of devouring cake and solitude and social distancing. And thank you to your family for letting us borrow you.
They are working on the cake right now still as we speak. So
that's hashtag on brand for the Bowers household.
Right.
Yeah. That's right. they'll be eating at about midnight.
So
his 5-year-old will be up on the roof like,
So we may have a emergence of the cake at some point during the show tonight.
Oh, wow. This is going to be... People are saying, happy birthday. Happy birthday.
Oh.
And they want to know why there's no birthday pie, Hal.
Yeah,
Oh, well.
Yep. All right, and
coronavirus.
JT, you're coming in from the Cinemaplex there. People are already spying what you got behind you. Close Encounters, Pete's Dragon. What do we got?
Some movie posters. Yeah, this is I'm waiting on movie night. I love movie night. It's so fun. It's a good time, and I got a whole row of places I want to visit each time. So
there we go. I'm down in the editing booth here tonight because we're going to be doing a demo of film restoration. So
that's right.
Yeah, so we got all the spindles out. Look at them behind me. So
nothing will go wrong.
Nothing. No, actually, well, took your advice, Brian. A lot of this is pre-programmed, but there will be some live.
Really?
Things. Yeah.
I was hoping you'd shoot from the hip, as they say.
We had to make sure it goes right. We got a longer cord tonight, so. And also coming to us is Mark Bandy. Mark, thank you for coming in tonight. You've got quite a story that we're going to explain to everybody here shortly.
Who is this guy?
Yeah,
who he is?
Random guy with the wood paneling behind him. We just found him and said, "Come on, join." He's spamming our Zoom.
Yes, joining in from Savannah, Georgia.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much. And if everybody sitting there is going, Savannah, Georgia, that must mean one thing. And first and foremost, before we really reveal, I have to apologize publicly to you, Mark, because I forgot the film we talked about last week was yours. And then you wrote to us after watching it. You were thrilled. So that's first my apology. So, Mark, why don't you tell everybody who you are?
I'm, like I said, I'm Mark Bandy and from Savannah, Georgia. And Harold and Yvonne Jenkins are my grandparents. And the movie that y'all watched last week, I sent to y'all, and that was their first trip to Epcot without the family, which was, I can still remember that being quite a little traumatic there, that they were going to take a trip to Disney and not take all of us. And but that's how interesting. I think my grandfather was fascinated with the promos for Epcot, and it's about a 4.5, 5-hour drive down to Orlando from here. So,
and how old were you back then?
I would have been just about 10.
Okay, so see, Epcot wouldn't have interested you. It was all educational anyway, so.
You would have hated it.
You would have hated it.
Exactly. No pre-characters, and I do remember the souvenirs. I don't even think they set foot in the Magic Kingdom when they took that trip. We got some pajamas from Japan. I think
Wow.
that was the treat, and we were like, "What? You went?"
He said that was the treat.
Yeah, it's like, yeah. So, in any event, they are a much beloved part of our lives, and we were very pleased that y'all got to show that film, and it was well received.
Well, I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. We certainly enjoyed it, and I think, you know, it went without saying, we needed to let everybody hear your grandparents' narration. And as I mentioned, it wasn't often that individuals would take their home movies back and then re-record over them with their own soundtrack, and we really got an idea of what they felt. I think from the opening line, you know, home of the big silver ball, we just immediately fell in love.
Yeah, I don't know that we, you know, like Brian said, we did sit around on the couch drinking sweet tea and watching their videos from all over the world. And I guess they may have done it to other ones, but I didn't realize that he had re-recorded over that until, you know, we saw it. And I was like, that is not him talking in the park, because he had a camera that had audio, but he came home and sat down with the records. I'm sure it was records.
Yeah.
And they did all of that. So, yeah.
So we got in your emails to us, got a little bit of background on them, but could you give everybody watching tonight a little 2-minute synopsis of your grandparents and their love story and what they did with their lives? And
while you do that, I'm going to set up our Zoom, because we have some photos that you sent us too that we're going to show and talk about. So,
sure. Yeah, Harold and Yvonne Jenkins. Harold Jenkins was a native Savanian, and he and my grandmother were married in 1944. And he was in the Marines and was home in Savannah and was due to go back to the Pacific. And they met 3 days before he was shipped back to the Pacific. And they were married in 46. And they were happily married for 60 years.
Nice.
And and my grandmother is a fascinating story. Her parents her father was from Italy, and her mother was from France. And so actually got to go back to the old country. And one of our fondest memories, whenever all of those folks came, because we had cousins and relatives that would come visit, they all wanted to go to Disney World. So I didn't find any photos here, but there are lots of photos of our cousins from Europe, and that was the must-do on their list. They were coming to America. They wanted to go to Disney World. So we obliged.
Awesome. And took them there. So we've got a couple pictures here. Why don't we run through these? You have the YouTube feed up so you can kind of see.
Yep.
Excellent. So why don't you, we've got about 10 or 11 of them here. So let's go through those.
This is, I thought y'all would appreciate this. This is a distinct attraction at Disney World. This is Discovery Island. And we're all there. That's my parents in the center. And my sister is on the left with the bonnet, myself in the middle, and my aunt. And then Yvonne is on the far right, kneeling down. That's Grandma. And so we're at Discovery Island. I think we went there a couple times.
Awesome.
And that was in existence.
We got this one this is Harold. He's got the camera, the infamous camera in his hand here, I believe.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep. There we are in front of the topiary or the planter in the front of the Magic Kingdom. But that is myself on the left, Harold. And the thing to note is we called him Fod. That was, first kid gets to pick the name. And that's what I came up with, F-O-D-D. So he was Fod, and my sister in the middle, or next, and then my grandmother, Yvonne. We called her Ivani. She was insistent. She did not want to be called grandmother or anything approximating grandmother. So
he's got the camera there too, huh?
Yeah.
They were quite the hipsters. They were a party. They took us dancing with them, and Friday nights to Johnny Harris, and so they were very active. This is the treehouse. and that is my aunt, Joanne Jenkins, and Yvonne. And that is on the porch of one of the tree houses. We stayed there a couple times on our trips.
I
And these
love
would have
her
been all
ensemble there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, full pantsuit, matching top and bottom.
Yeah.
Terrific.
That was a thing back then, people.
Bring it back. Oh, flamingos.
Discovery Island again.
Yeah. Yep.
So everybody knows the Discovery Island flamingos became the Epcot flamingos, became the Animal Kingdom flamingos.
They're almost 50 years old. It's amazing.
It's the originals.
It's the original.
Yeah. Some of them aren't still there, but
Brian, we need your slide projector right now between them. The different the sounds changing the slides here.
Yes.
I love this. This is where is this, Tao?
That's the Fantasyland Theater. That was
right.
Yeah.
Would go to watch the characters perform under the in Fantasyland, and that's my sister Marie and her little mini doll.
We'll jump over this one. I think this is you and your sister and Pluto, it looks like.
Yep. Those are just some of the images. You didn't have character meet and greets. They just roamed freely, like the wild. So this is one of the pics. Pooh.
Oh yeah,
there's
the Pooh.
The honey pot
Crazy
on the
eyes.
head.
That's the honey pot that had the bee on top.
Yeah, it got cut off there in the picture. So
it flew away.
And we've got you out front the topiaries here too.
Yeah, and I was trying to decide where we might have. I mean, we might have pulled over and parked illegally to take this photograph. I'm thinking.
Of course.
Yeah, but that's myself, my aunt, and my sister.
And we do have a lot of photos we've seen of people pulling over and taking videos.
Well, and you could walk across the street from the Contemporary and get to them. So
okay.
Ooh, another tree house.
Yeah, the long shot here showing everybody out on the deck, testing its stability and weight limits.
Yep. We were big treehouse fans.
We stayed there too. I thought it was a great place, and here they are.
That's just the very recent picture of Harold and Yvonne.
They are.
There they
Probably 20 some odd years later.
Now, if you're new to the show and you haven't watched, you have to go back and watch last week so you know who we're talking about, because these two were the main subject of one of our films we showed last week.
That's right.
And the story of the end of their life is very touching. So could you share that with us?
Yes. So as I said, they were very active, and then towards the end of their life, my grandmother started to show signs of dementia, and so we had to put her into a care home because it was dangerous, and my grandfather was older at that time, but the story is that he passed away within about a week of her going into assisted living or care home, and I would ask him, how are things going? How's life? And he would just say, any day that I don't get to see my girl is a bad day.
Oh.
And, so he passed away literally within about a week of her going into the home. And then she lingered for about a little over a year, but they were together 60 years when he passed.
Wow.
So
that's a beautiful story.
We were very fortunate to have them in our lives.
Yep. And I'm so glad that you were willing to let us restore that. We got to ship the original film back to you and get you a digital remastered copy that you can let your family, take around and show to generation. And I really, really appreciate your time and your family's understanding to let us show this to the world, because I think it's been a great history lesson as well, and a great story of two great people.
Well, I really appreciate everything that y'all are doing. Y'all have done something really tremendous here, and it's very enjoyable to hear your commentary, your color commentary on the attraction, and this new feature of home movies is a nice addition. So
cool.
Thank you for everything y'all are doing.
You're very welcome.
Thanks so much, Mark.
Yes. Thank y'all very much. Y'all have a good one.
Thank you, Mark. Have a great night.
Thank you.
See y'all later. Bye-bye.
All right. Well, that was Mark Bandy. as if you just tuned in, that was the grandson of Harold and Yvonne Jenkins from last week's movie night where we did their Epcot film narrated.
And
by
that's the first time we've gotten the story behind one of our films, right?
I know, it's so good. It
Yeah.
makes it so much better.
It really is.
Now we
It's
can
amazing.
invent stories for every other film that we restore. We'll just invent a backstory.
Exactly. So, all right. So let me just get the rest of Zoom set up here.
Who were the two we have that Fort Wilderness Railroad and that? What were their names?
That was
Art and Linda.
Art and Linda, yeah.
I'm dying to know what's going on with Art and Linda. Like, it's going to be like world premiere night if we get their grandchildren on here.
So, all right. Well, before we do have another couple to introduce tonight, actually, and it looks like Zoom. Mark logged out. Let's get our Zoom adjusted here. Sorry about that, folks. As people come and go, we have to zoom into our Zoom, so to speak, and it's not exactly trivial here. All right, there we go. We are set for movie night. So before we start, we are going to meet another couple. We're going to meet the Blanchards very soon here. But before we get to that, a couple of you sent in some memes. Now, I don't know, gentlemen, if you've seen them yet. I'm going to let our internet fans here roast me, which is fine, from our movie night the other, was it 2 weeks ago now? I somewhat attempted to project a film and show how, you feed a projector, and it was a thing we hadn't seen before. So anyway,
I promise you there will be movies tonight on this movie.
Yeah, there will be movies.
Stay tuned.
Yeah. And I am going to attempt it again at some point too. So, all right. So here's what we got sent in. We got this one. Is this good footage with just a flashlight on a wall? Which is pretty much what it turned into. But
by the way, if you're watching and you did this meme, any of these we show, take credit for it.
Yeah, please put yourself in the chat. So, all right, and we also got this one. This was one of my favorite here. So this one comes up. The podcast chat watching Todd set up his projector. So I'm sure everybody sat there with a.
Oh, Dylan just said I'm famous.
Oh, Dylan did it.
Dylan. All right.
Excellent. You're in. All right, and this next one, absolutely no one at all. The podcast chat when Todd says he had no idea what's on the tape. So everybody there. And then this next one here is, I like this one. Todd trying to set the projector up. Just Mechanic. I don't know what Mechanic is from. I've seen this gentleman before. And then the last one here, definitely also one of my favorites, Retro Magic Quarantine Edition, which is just me.
That's got to be your new profile. They're your new background.
Twitter
profile.
Background and avatar. So there we go. Memes. So thank you for sending those in, and we had fun. We'll definitely do that again. So. All right, well, it is time to get to our first film. So just to set this one up, we believe this is potentially a young couple's first trip to Florida, possibly a honeymoon. You're going to see it starts out in the car. JT, if you can name it from the interior, I'm really going to be impressed.
Oh, I need a minute here. I'll dig, but this one reminds me of the start of Night of the Living Dead, the first 10 minutes.
Did you guys have them all ready and queued up locally, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I downloaded them the other day. So let me.
Cool. Yep, we're ahead of. So this is pretty. This one has quite a long run time, I believe. This is 16 minutes. And then
the Blanchards, right?
The Blanchards at Walt Disney
Tully
World.
Blanchard.
Yep.
There's my wrestling reference for everybody.
So we're gonna do this one, and then we're gonna kick into the commercial break, and then we'll come back after that with early Epcot Center visit and an undated Walt Disney World film as well. That runs 13 minutes, and then we're going to get into some of the restorations and show you how we work the restoration magic. But without further ado, on my signal, gentlemen, on 1, 2, 3, go. Here comes the Blanchards at Walt Disney World. 1, 2, 3, go.
And that's how you had to drink before they had like little bottles and stuff for your car.
Yeah.
Is he holding a wax paper cup?
He's got a cookie.
There were no cup holders then either.
Who's in the back seat though?
I don't know. What's he eating? It looks like a
watching
wafer.
Leonard Nimoy drive to Disney World.
Yes.
It would be
This has got to be that. This has to be that we're getting close. Like, let's pull the camera out.
Yeah.
We're 10 minutes away.
There's the old signs, which remarkably don't look that different from the new signs.
Hey!
Oh my gosh, they're getting the parking girl. That's fantastic.
This is huge.
Oh, they might be staying in the hotel. Now, in the early days, they would actually call ahead to the hotel to tell them that you were coming.
And this is where you follow the line, too. Remember the painted line we had talked
There's
about?
the topiaries that we just saw Mark's family standing by.
Hey, look, they're
So,
standing by
yeah.
it.
So I bet they're going to the Contemporary, and then they're going to get greeted by somebody who's waiting for them, which is, I mean,
Dick
think about that
Nunes.
concept.
Look at that traffic.
Yeah.
Look at that
Lord.
traffic.
Where are they coming from?
Oh,
And
no.
a monorail.
Some great old cars in there, too. Oh, he's pointing. That's the castle.
Castle.
Make sure you get it.
Big Ben. Consulate.
Pulling in. So this is similar. Remember, the Griswolds went in this way and filmed it, too. So, well, I guess that's all we're going to see, the Contemporary.
Right.
Is that somebody a scuba
Scuba
suit?
diver.
It is a scuba diver.
Wow.
He's down there getting somebody's cell phone.
Yeah, that's...
Jim Scuba's like great-grandfather.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful shot. Look at this. Oh, I love these old treehouse pictures.
It just nothing was overgrown. It's amazing.
Fire.
There's stuff on fire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good
Don't want
days.
those rubber leaves to burn.
Can't fix the swan boats. They filled in too much of the canal there, buddy.
Over.
Yeah.
Nice slow pan here of
This is
the
a dramatic
totem.
shot of the
Yeah.
tiki room. Most people panned up. They panned down. So that was a nice.
Great shot of the old sign.
Yeah.
Is that a real thatched roof?
It's
Yeah,
steel
I mean-
now. It's or aluminum now, actually.
Yeah. Guy did it on our tour like
Yeah.
Willy Wonka.
Wax with the cane, right?
Yes, he had his cane.
Yep. And you hear it. It's amazing how many, we've talked about how much of the Jungle Cruise has constantly been recorded over the years. The opening of the Tiki Birds is constant. And look at this. This is a
wow,
nice.
they actually shot inside.
Yeah, it's a decent.
Nice lighting.
Oh, there's the old water fountain chasing it. That was great.
Look at that.
Now you have to see how far they pan down. You have to look for oranges in the tree.
Oh.
This is really good footage. He actually had his camera set right. I mean, even a little of the background and the colors are good.
Yeah.
Oh, we got the totems
Sit
too.
down in there, get some hunky tuna tostada, and
Mm-hmm.
And the Jungle Cruise.
And the Jungle
And
Cruise.
the
Well,
Jungle
you guys
Cruise.
got everybody's got about 5 minutes. We want to take a stretch break or anything like that.
The grass grow.
If you haven't joined
Literally.
us the past 4 movie nights,
You've missed the
or
Jungle
any
Cruise.
movie night.
Yeah.
You'll see the
Jungle Cruise.
The Jungle Cruise is well chronicled.
Mm-hmm.
Gosh.
Too bad nothing's really changed.
Hopefully there'll be some parade footage too.
There's probably some in here. I forget what we have.
Probably like 7 or 8 minutes of parade.
I want to see. You know what you never get to see though? Oh, and there's the flames in that one too. You never get to see the skipper shooting the hippos. It's
Oh,
no
that's
one's,
true.
No one's gotten that one yet.
I have that on my personal film, I believe. So I think we might play that next week in 1980. Everybody
You know,
can make
that
fun
would
of
be
me.
that's a good tip for everybody when you get those people that ask you questions on your way out of the Magic Kingdom. Say, I liked it in the old days when more things were on fire.
And getting shot.
And the skipper had a gun.
Everybody's doing their Jungle Cruise. Oh, there it is, Brian.
Here he
Got your
is.
parade.
Look at
There he
him.
is.
Whoa.
Mickey
Coming
is-
coming in
he
hot.
is feeling it. He is feeling it.
I have to call out
was a-
Jeffrey Niece's backside of water joke, which is O2H instead of H2O.
I like that. I like that.
There's Dumbo. Watch the camera.
We did say when Mark joined, this was the backside of Retro
Well, there's a
WDW
fly on
before
the
we
lens.
start.
The Mayfly, isn't it?
No, this was June.
Okay, got it.
Yep.
And it's a June bug.
There's
Oh,
the
good
bee
point.
on top of Pooh's
Yep.
honeypot.
Yeah.
It's not late.
There's
at
the
night, though,
fly
his eyes aren't
again. It
red.
just went by again.
Yeah.
Jeff Goldblum.
There's the Chippendale with the collar. There's the band.
I think we could probably, at this point, I think we could pretty accurately document this parade, like what exact units were in here.
Yeah.
Who appeared.
Now,
Oh.
is this the same guy that's there now?
Oh my,
Is that
that's
him?
interesting.
Somebody in the
Different
shadow
piano.
there. There is,
Because he's been playing since it opened.
yeah. Well, there is a guy that has played forever there.
Yeah.
There's
Well,
Ron.
There's a stroller. in the
Hello,
bottom,
Ron
right?
Schneider.
Hey, Ron.
Ron will be with us next week live
Yep.
to ride through imagination with us.
That's right.
Keelboat. Oh, that's a good shot. On the keelboat with that boat going by.
Jim Collins says not Jim, but Kendra says Jim. There's the bug again. Did he have it in his lens?
Jim was still pretty young in the 80s when I first met him, so I think he was...
Here it was again, Todd.
It's like the bug is stuck in his camera. Like maybe
it's between the two lenses.
Yeah, right.
Combination ant farm movie camera.
It's a great gift for the holidays.
Was that Beacon Joe? I didn't see. I didn't notice.
Oh, I didn't know if he was there. Yeah, I didn't look.
Whoa, that Indian is really going. Oh no, those are two live people like cleaning up.
I did fix the speed on this one. How this was originally 18 frames. It was running a little hot, so we are running at 16 frames a second on this.
Looks
one.
nice. Looks good. There's the uncovered queue for the Haunted Mansion.
So when can we? This came undated. So when would you?
Okay.
Oh, it's wait.
So
no, it's not.
Oh no, that's sorry.
What is
That's
that?
the cover. Never mind.
Oh, we're back in the Diamond Horseshoe.
Horseshoe review.
What's the guy gonna spit out again? What are they?
Oh,
Baby lima beans.
Baby lima beans. There we go.
That's right.
There's the Can girls.
Slewfoot Sue is going to come out and sing a nice tune for us. Is everybody
good
waiting
shot of
for
the
their
bar there
sandwiches?
too.
She's got the mirror.
Oh,
She
and
goes,
we
she's
skipped
gonna-
right over that joke.
And here's Diamond Jim. And where did the Police Gazette number?
How knows this by heart?
Oh, I do. I loved this show. I hope there's a version with sound somewhere that we run into.
Yeah, we really haven't seen any of it. I mean, the one we saw last week and this one is probably the longest footage of all of it that we've ever seen over the years. Hal might be getting his cake delivery here in a second.
Yeah, the kids are getting antsy.
Okay.
Yeah, after the
commercial
spins,
break, you can get your yeah.
Yes.
9 minutes.
Oh, all right. Traveling sales. We got a traveling salesman shuffling the kids off the stage.
Oh.
And pick us Bill.
There he is.
Wasn't he at the
he lost
end
his
of?
hat.
Oh.
Now, other than the 1976 version of this, were there any other changes over the years?
Other than that one, I don't believe so. I think they ran that. In fact, for a long time, that show, I can't remember if it was just the Disneyland version, was like the longest running theatrical stage program like in history, I think, because I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yep. EASCEC says, wait, we did this last episode. We did go over some of this footage last episode as a bonus with Ron Schneider. And
hey!
We didn't know it was in this set as well. So
it's oh gosh, I can't remember his name now. The gentleman, he still plays
the Banjo King, right?
Pat Terry and his Junior and his father Pat Terry, and Pat Terry Jr. still plays at Disney today.
We just zipped right to the contemporary.
Yeah, well, it's a hot day.
See the guy smoking in line there. Everybody smoked everywhere back then. It was just awful.
Could you smoke on the monorail?
I don't think they would stop you.
No.
True.
I mean, I think they would ask you to extinguish yours.
Extinguish.
So this must be, I'm going to guess we're on day 2 here. So yeah, this must be day 2.
Okay, so they don't have the elevation and the population on the Magic Kingdom sign yet.
Oh yeah, good catch.
Donald looks about 4 feet tall.
Yeah, he was played by a little person who the cast members from back then loved that guy.
So making our way up. Oh, mail-in postcards, Brian.
Yeah,
look at that. That was awesome.
I've done that before. Rob Hinkle, who's in the chat, sent me one time from, I think, either Main Street or in Epcot, and it got to me about 5 months later. True story.
Here we go.
The alligator topiary, the swan topiary.
He sent it from Epcot, he says in the chat. So.
Oh, okay. They check that, every 6 months about?
Well, it had to come all the way back from the future. So
that's true, too.
That is Aaron Tomorrowland right there.
Yeah.
And here's
There it is,
20K.
the obligatory 20K shot. I can't remember if we go in this one. JT, what's the time check? What do we have left on this?
We are about less than 6 minutes left.
There's 5.5 minutes left, yeah.
Oh, that's right. Then there's some very rare shots coming up very shortly that nobody's going to want to miss.
In car, 20K. This is serious.
Yeah, some of the 16mm footage we had was a little rare, but keep your eyes peeled after this scene. We're going to get to something that we've never really seen on film very much, including photos, too.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Red Lobster for the seafood lover in you.
Yeah. Central Florida original.
Hello, I'm Norman.
I think he turns off the camera right after the divers here, so if I remember. I don't get to watch these in full. I probably should, but I'm zipping through these as I'm restoring all the time, so I see bits and pieces, so it's really nice to sit down and concentrate.
I love that sea serpent.
All right, let's check this out.
What do we got?
Oh, that's King Stephen's, right?
Yeah.
Nice.
Nice.
Today known as Cinderella's Royal Table for you youngsters.
That's right.
One of our early episodes, we gave away a glass mug from here, didn't we?
We did. Look at that.
Wow.
I haven't been up there in years either, so I'm assuming it hasn't changed much, but nice long pan. That way, I think he tried to shoot every coat of arms, it looks like.
Fantastic.
We even get a little food here coming in.
Wow.
Oh.
Oh, now it's a snowstorm.
That's a split. I'll have to edit that out. That's
here we go. We're back.
Two reels.
Da, 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 da. She's got I like the scarf.
It's the server, yeah. Serving wench, I think
There's
they
the
called
food.
It. Wow.
Oh.
There's the I always forget the
Fife
name.
and drum.
Fife and drum, that's it.
Yeah.
This guy's waiting on the bass drum there.
I was about to call them the Sons of Liberty. That's why.
Sons of Anarchy.
The nice clean haunted mansion.
It's like the structure's there, but there's no roof.
Yeah, the roof
that's
is
it.
not on yet.
They haven't put it on yet. Yeah.
I mean, I suppose they probably have to replace that every so often.
That keelboat rolling by. Man, I wish I had ridden that. That's cool.
Little interior haunted mansion here.
Wow.
Including the end. Watch this coming up. I do remember this part. There we go. We got the original ghosts.
Oh, in the car. Yeah.
Nicely done.
Yeah, real quick there.
I wonder if they're still home with them.
I left this in, Country
singing
Bears, but the
Yeah,
footage
singing
on this
bears.
was pretty good quality. So most of the time it's very washed out, but he certainly knew how to adjust things for indoor use.
That's beautiful.
Trixie.
Little treat out of Tampa.
The singing bears.
Sunbonnet Trio.
Yeah.
2 minutes left here.
2 minutes. All right.
Enjoy it.
As soon as I get a ladder, I'll be right up.
That is harassment, sir. You work together, and he's probably your boss.
He's just hanging around on the wall.
That's right. It's amazing how, if I took an 8mm camera in here today and shot it, it wouldn't come out much different.
Just 4K.
There's something warm about this, though. The little bit of fuzziness, as much as we restore it, there's still something different about it. All right, I think we're departing the Magic Kingdom now. Look at
empty landscape. That is amazing.
No, we got a minute and a half left.
Little trees. Oh, we got the fountain.
Oh yeah, I forgot these fountains.
Look at that
Fountains.
angle.
I like the grass there.
The grass is dead.
What it's really missing are some blue and purple rocks.
Yeah, those would look great.
The purple wall.
This guy was enamored with the. I'm glad somebody shot them like this.
I'd love to know how those I mean, it's pretty simple. They were just jets shooting down, right?
All right, so there's a timestamp there, right? There's no star jets or anything.
Yeah.
So So we're
there's no Plaza Pavilion.
No Plaza Pavilion either. So
Yeah.
what are we looking
Whoa.
at? What are we
Oh my
looking at
gosh.
time frame now? Is this?
What's that boat on the
and
shore just sitting there?
old
You see?
swan boat dock before they
Yeah.
moved it.
And that was like a swan boat without a swan. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So is this like early 72?
Yeah, the swan boats didn't run till 73, so this would have been 72.
72 somewhere. Okay.
Swan boat beta sitting there, Mark 1.
Oh, I have it the date. Oh, here I am. I'm getting the two confused. This was May 72.
Oh.
1871. That's funny, Yvonne.
A swan boat without a swan. That's just a boat.
Good catch. Good catch.
At least somebody else is making fun of
there's a
JT,
side-
and it's
there's
not
a
just
side
us.
I know. I'd like a shirt with that, How.
Yeah,
we
that'd
put
be
the
great.
swan
There
in
we
the
go.
swan
All right.
boat.
Swan in the swan
Very
boat.
good.
All right. All right, so we're going to go silent here for just a minute. I do have to set up the commercial break because you guys caught the audio problem in the opening. So we're going to go on a commercial break here. It's about 4.5 minutes or so. We're going to let Hal do his happy birthday thing with his family, and we'll be back shortly. Just give me a second to queue up the commercial videos.
I'm gonna have him bring in the cake if it's ready.
Oh, do you want to do it now?
Yeah, he wants.
Yeah,
wants
maybe
the-
we'll see if they're good.
Oh,
to go.
well, let's do that then. Hold on. All right, let me
Oh,
resize the
says-
screen here. Let's get this.
You guys can all sing in the comments.
Yeah.
This is a bonus for the. How many people are watching now? 213.
We can fix that.
Yeah.
Todd, you've frozen on there. There we go.
No, it's back. Yep.
Like, I don't know how you're going to see it.
Oh, hi, Kelly.
Oh, you turn the background off.
There you go. See it. It's a
Got
pineapple.
It's a pineapple cake.
There we go. Do a spin.
Look at that.
Oh,
Yes.
very good. Everybody clap. Yes.
My boys did that.
That's amazing, fellas.
Really something.
That looks good.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Oh, yeah, it's like kind of getting onto the background. Okay. All right.
Thank you, Kelly.
Hi, Kelly.
Now, if you stay tuned, you all get a piece.
Birthday, Dan.
That's right.
Somebody.
What?
I saw somebody put Lapu Lapu B-Day TT. I was thinking happy birthday TT. Somebody said.
There is a lot of birthday wishes here
That's
for you,
right.
Howard. You're gonna have to scroll back up.
Yeah,
after
you gotta
reply to each
everybody.
individually.
Exactly.
He doesn't look 65, does he, folks?
I'm gonna write a hand letter to everyone.
Oh.
Every single
Why-
person.
mail it
and
from
then mail
Epcot.
it from Epcot.
Yeah.
Right.
And
Go
they'll get it by your next birthday.
Yeah. Perfect. So, all right. Well, we'll mute out here for a second. We'll get our commercial break set up, and
Hal
we'll
can
be
go
back.
get a piece of cake.
Yeah, we'll be back in about
Yeah.
4 or 5 minutes.
That's hilarious.
We'll see you in a few.
It's great opening, great crazy the.
Let yourself go to Pizza Hut. Let yourself go. You love us for lunch.
Right. Now that's my kind of lunch.
When yesterday's lunch was like the one before.
No, hey, this sure beats another hamburger.
When your craving for pizza is too strong to ignore.
We gotta do this more often.
Let yourself go to Pizza Hut. You love us for lunch.
When you're hungry for a burrito supreme, really hungry for a taco, you know what I mean. Got a craving for a enchilada or two. Want a beefy tostada? Here's what you do. Just say hey, what you say? We all go down to Taco Bell today and head for Taco Bell. Taco Bell.
Rockin' and we're bopping and we're singing this song. At Robin's Diamonds, you can't go wrong. Jim's Kid shows you what it's all about. Robin's Diamonds takes the guesswork out. Rocks and Robin's. Rocks, Robin's Diamonds. Rocks. It's a rockin' Robin's Diamonds and we'll rock tonight. Terry's got a diamond in his beard.
Lots of people think that's really weird.
Get your rock at Robin's Diamonds and we'll rock, rock, rock tonight. Rocks at Robin's Diamonds.
A cut above the rest.
Schweigingle 2-year, no finance charge, Jurassic credit.
If we charge you finance charges, then Schweigingle will give you a new Mercedes.
Schweigingle, the home of no finance charges.
2 years, no finance charges? I don't believe it. Wow, we're eating up the competition. It's Schweigingle's 2 years, no finance charge, Jurassic credit. No one should be eaten alive by high prices and finance charges. I should have gone to Schweigingle, the home of no finance.
Summertime sun, summertime fun. Have the time of your life at Seabreeze.
This weekend, it's easy to have fun. Come to Seabreeze. It's easy to get to, easy to get on the rides. Hey, it's even easy on your wallet. Get in on the fun. Head to Seabreeze.
Have the time of your life at Seabreeze.
So much fun, so close to home.
One taste will tell you, it's not just pop. It's dynamite.
You've seen biker bars and piano bars, handlebars, even Zanzibars, but you've never seen nothing like Wendy's Super Bar, where you get all you can eat for one low price. Only at Wendy's, the best burgers in the business and a whole lot more.
Now after 4 p.m. you can have dinner at Wendy's all-you-can-eat Super Bar for only $2.99. It's a dinner deal that lights up the night, so try it tonight.
Mr. Cow.
Yes?
How many licks does it take to get to the Tootsie Roll center of a Tootsie Pop?
I don't know. I always end up biting. Ask Mr. Fox, for he's much cleverer than I.
Mr. Fox, how many licks does it take to get to the Tootsie Roll center of a Tootsie Pop?
Why don't you ask Mr. Turtle, for he's been around a lot longer than I. Me, I bite.
Mr. Turtle, how many licks does it take to get to the Tootsie Roll center of a Tootsie Pop?
I never made it without biting. Ask Mr. Owl, for he is the wisest of us all.
Mr. Owl, how many licks does it take to get to the Tootsie Roll center of a Tootsie Pop?
A good question. Let's find out. 1, 2, 3.
If there's anything I can't stand, it's a smart owl.
How many licks does it take to get to the Tootsie Roll center of a Tootsie Pop? The world may never know.
You guys.
Surprise!
All right, we're back, and we're supposed to have How to.
This is Hal's surprise.
This is Hal's
party.
surprise party.
We're
We're at McDonald's, but he's not here. So, oh boy. But JT, we said to go to McDonald's. Where are you?
McDowell's.
No, that's on Queens Boulevard. We need you at McDonald's.
All right.
You're gonna have to come here and meet us with Hal. So, well, Hal is enjoying his cake. So I think we'll get started here, and we'll talk about a little bit about number 2, and then when Hal comes in, he'll see that we're all celebrating his.
I mean, we should talk about McDonald's birthday parties, because there's like a whole generation of kids who probably don't know, like if you're seeing behind me,
yeah,
like it was a whole thing. Like you got invited and you went, and there was like a section of the restaurant that was all set up, and they
Party
had the
room.
special hats. Well, we didn't have a party room in our day. They just like had an area roped off for the party, and you had all these decorations. But in ours, they always brought out the sheet cake with Ronald McDonald.
Here
on
it is. Here it is. Here.
Oh, there it is. Look, there it is, right there. Yep. He's got the sheet cake.
Sheet cake.
Great
sorry.
outfit too.
Yeah. I had
So-
Brian. You had yours there. I had at least one there. I remember. I've got
My
some
brother
photos.
had his there. In fact, you can't see it behind me, but the seat the girl's sitting in says "a very special person."
Oh, that's right.
Her birthday.
That's right.
And obviously, she got the Cabbage Patch doll. So
Yep.
it's 1983, 1984, right there.
Somewhere in there. So, all right. Well, I think Hal will back in a little bit. Let me get
He's
our
eating pineapple
videos.
cake.
Yeah, he's definitely. All right. So our next film tonight is.
Wait. Somebody just asked if McDowell's was real. Can you give the joke?
Sure. So the why with this McDowell's is that's from a movie called Coming to America with Eddie Murphy, and in the movie where Eddie Murphy comes from, Zamunda, and he winds up taking a job as a janitor at McDowell's in Brooklyn, and the running gag through the movie is that McDonald's is after McDowell's. They have the Big Mac, he has the Big Mick. They're all the same, except his bun doesn't have sesame seeds. So, and he's constantly getting hounded. So it's a great film if you haven't seen it. It's typical Eddie Murphy in the late 90s.
What is it? Rumors of sequels in the works too.
I understand it. Yeah, and the apparently he's coming back because he had a child here apparently. So
oh boy,
a child. Yep. So we'll have to see. All right, so this next one here runs just about 6 minutes. It is early Epcot again. And what's nice is it does give us a nice view into some of Future World, which we didn't get to see in a lot of these films, as Brian and I have talked about, that you just didn't bring your movie camera indoors because you weren't going to waste the film. Very similar to what you see in Magic Kingdom. In fact, some of the footage you saw tonight inside the Tiki Birds and Country Bear is because this gentleman, who filmed that knew what he was doing. So just definitely kind of different there. So, gentlemen, are you ready?
I will load up here. Early Epcot Center visit. I'm ready on your mark.
All right. 1,
ready,
2, 3, go.
All right.
Just gotta.
There's a tram pulling in.
Resize this here.
Some beautiful flowers. It is a bald Cabbage Patch doll behind me. Yes. They sold bald ones.
Nice waiting plaza there. All the flowers.
Yeah, there's the ticket booths behind them.
Yep.
They're still there.
My son has just delivered. The producers just bought popcorn to us.
Oh, great.
Oh snap!
Yeah, nice big bowl of fresh popcorn. So.
Tall glass of Coca Conlon.
Look at the lamppost there. Great
Those are
job.
legit. Like
Yeah.
those would look fine now.
Oh,
LED,
that must be
of
our.
course.
Look, she's waiting. We saw her earlier.
Yeah, and there's the fountain.
Typical pylons.
Beautiful. Looking beautiful. Just 3 muskets all piled up against each other. Hey, there's Future Court.
Hey-o. Look at this is definitely early. Look at the size of the trees there.
Look at the size of the tuba.
Look at the size of the line.
Don't talk about my tuba like that.
So that's imagination. They're queuing up by the land. Look at that.
Yeah. Well,
Wow.
Figment and the Dreamfinder War. So this is obviously 83. Like
That's a line to see
mid-83.
Ron Schneider.
There was a Kodak. There was a Kodak photo thing there on the ground, a photo spot.
Oh yeah.
There's those lights again, Todd, right there.
Yep.
You can see how intricate the landscaping was back then, and
Ooh, I like that sign too. Look at that. Nice and clean.
they are.
Oh, nice. Woo! Right over.
It's the most terrific thing you've ever seen.
Harold stood there for a while. He
did.
Some of the most footage we have.
I stood there for a while, 5 years after this.
Everybody did. They still do. There's always a kid.
There we
jumping.
go.
You gotta
There's
get
the
one of
kid
those.
jumping. Just gotta.
Look at the mesh in there that is still purple and blue and hasn't been disrupted. Isn't there? There's rocks in there now too. No plants, right? Didn't they change it to rocks?
Kodak sponsored that pavilion from 1982 until I believe 2011.
Japan? Yeah.
Japan, yeah. From
Ooh, look at that shot with a monorail shoot. Oh.
right over. I don't see Soren anywhere. But you did see the show building, which was really interesting. You could see the Magic Eye Theater there. And this guy's following the monorail no matter what's in front of it. He's following it the whole way. I'm panning over until I can't see it anymore.
It is such a clever idea to bring it in the park.
Oh, look at that.
Look at all the landscaping around the Fountain of Nations.
Flowers.
It's just beautiful. Oh, the Starbucks.
Club Cool on your left here. That's
right. Oh, look, there's
I
the
love
sign.
that thing.
Oh, it's going.
Oh,
Oh,
my
there they are.
gosh.
Oh, man,
They're going to
they
steal your soul. Keep walking.
I would have loved more news on the ticket.
Don't look in their eyes. That's how they get to your soul.
That jitney bus just ran them over. That was.
Well, there were only 12 people on World Showcase.
It's a breezy day, too. Look at that. Everything is
a blustery day. Hey, there's
blustery.
more giant people
There she is
moving.
again.
She's eyeing him up like, don't come near me.
Gosh.
Don't
come
near
over
me.
here. Don't come over here.
Oh, Reese. Run those dolls over.
Yes, that's what I said. What is this crowd? Look at this.
That's all for the performer, I think.
On the stage right
Yeah,
there.
no, they had the street performers out there.
He's
There she
filming
is
his
again.
wife trying to look over the crowd.
In a horrible spot.
Yeah.
Even
I
on the
can't-
planner.
I can't see anything.
I could overlay Harold's audio here.
Yeah, a fun time. Oh, this is definitely early, so no friendship boats.
Yeah, I was to say that is
Yeah.
Though the original friendship boats had issues, so they pulled them out and moved these water launches over there until they could
Yeah.
fix the engines on the original friendships.
And notice they pull in through a docking system. You see that there? That there was pylons
Yeah.
on the left and right. They pull through a small channel. So that's totally different too.
It's Germany.
Yep.
She went looking for a Rhine River cruise ride and
Yeah.
nothing.
Hey, Hal, welcome back.
Hey.
How was the cake?
How's the cake?
It's actually, it's delicious.
Awesome.
We're in Epcot right now.
Very good.
They're going to Gloss on the Porcelain. Maybe stop in Der Bookworm.
Perfect.
Der Bookworm.
That's the name of the
Der
shop
Book-
over
it was
here.
like
That's awesome.
Der Burcherworm. Which that sounds more Swedish, probably. Shoot me
We're
a
all at
number.
McDonald's for your birthday, Hal.
Yeah.
Shoot me a number, guys. Where are we?
Oh, time frame wise, it's just about to wrap up.
It's about to end. So
Oh,
you
perfect.
just enjoy your cake.
I'm just going to enjoy Shiner.
That's it.
Where would they store those buses at night? How do we know the answer to that?
I'm sure it was probably, I don't know, actually. Probably where the
That's
boats
it.
are.
World of Motion.
Oh, probably where the boats are over behind Africa,
Oh yeah, back up there.
I suppose.
6
Yeah,
miles.
We could ask the guy that drove them and crashed them.
That's true.
Hey, where do you run over Michael Jackson?
Yeah, where'd you park
Well,
it
it's
after?
two
you did?
separate stories. He crashed the omnibus and caused damage to the frame, and he separately stepped on Michael Jackson's foot. They're two different
Okay.
stories that you've
Right.
merged together.
So somebody wanted to know what year that was. We don't know, but from what we can tell, it was probably very early, somewhere between 82 and 83, I guess. But I did not. There was a little bit of Horizons construction in there, so probably.
Yeah, I was going to say, and they
earlier
didn't
side
have
of that.
they didn't have all the friendship boats ready yet. So
Right.
that was a good sign.
Okay. Our next one here has some additional rare footage in it that you're going to want to keep your eye out for. This is undated, so we all have a quest here to try and figure out what year it was. How you need to pay particular attention because there's some great Polynesian footage in this one, if I recall correctly.
Sure.
So
Tease me.
Yep.
Happy
So-
birthday, Hal.
That's right. All right. So on my mark, gentlemen, we will play number 3. And we just have this one called Undated Trip to Walt Disney World. On my mark, 1, 2, 3, go.
Go. There's that news van again.
Well, Space Mountain's there, so we know it's at least 75.
It's like a game show. Stump how.
That's right.
Love that RCA sign.
Yeah, that was so cool. You know, I found out that they added the astronauts later to indicate that it was a roller coaster because people weren't getting the idea that it was a roller coaster, even though they just thought it was a slow ride. So then they put the cars outside to let them know, because they apparently didn't telegraph it enough initially.
There we go. Off on the Skyway. See, that's a common trend here. Some things that people did the first time. We've seen this in a number of films where they went there first. Maybe to get your
nice
lay of the
overview of
land.
the park, right?
Yeah. Now the water is split there, Hal, so that's our first clue on timing, right?
Yeah.
King Stephens, we just saw inside there. Now we're looking at the outside.
Hmm.
Oh, good.
Oh,
a parade.
Here we go.
Donald again.
Minnie is hopping it too.
I'm going to go watch a movie of a ride while the parade is on.
Fortunately, I don't think this gentleman filmed it all. I don't know.
Oh.
Now, what year is this
Robin
one?
Hood.
Yeah.
Well.
Oh my gosh.
Look at that little Pinocchio and
bug.
Herbie.
Look at that.
Yeah.
A miniature.
those cars are great. They also had Chip and Dale driving those in subsequent parades.
Tweedledee. And there's Tweedledum.
And there is King Louie, right?
King Louie, yeah.
Oh, the Rescuers.
The Rescuers, so it's after 77.
Right, yep.
We're moving right along.
People want that Herbie. Yeah, that would be fun to drive down the street, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I'd asked Bob Gurr about those. Those were standard midget cars that they used in like
Shriners cars?
Shriners parades and stuff like that, yeah.
Oh, look at Schmitty there.
Look at
that.
Smee driving that boat.
Or Schmee,
That's
rather.
cool.
Yeah.
The Ports a Call.
Yep.
I can see Tommy Toon just dancing on the top of that.
We've had a lot of great footage of these boats recently. Look at that.
It's crazy. You know, we had nothing for years, and now we're just lousy with it, which is wonderful.
It's like we don't even get excited about Jungle Cruise Frogs anymore.
Look at all the sailboats.
All
waiting to be rented. Yeah. Oh wow!
There's the
There
walrus.
it is. The poor walrus has been marooned on a uncharted desert isle.
Oh, it's Treasure Island.
Treasure Island. There's a hint. All right. So what we got now, Hal?
That one I might have to do a little looky uppy on.
Somebody wants him to pan around to Roy's cabin. Look at this. Is great footage too.
That's
Rare
gorgeous.
stuff.
Oh my gosh. Oh, with their flag, flying the pirate flag there. Okay. So Sour Home, New Jersey says we got a 77 and a 79 on Treasure Island. Clicky, clacky, clicky.
When it stops.
It's the Flamingo Lagoon. Look at that.
Yeah.
From
There's
the
a
other
great
side.
scene in a Thunder in Paradise episode where Hulk Hogan walks through there.
Oh, really?
The
Yeah.
lawnmower
With the
tree is in
flamingos?
Fort Wilderness.
With the flamingos. It's so crazy.
Well, that's all we're gonna see at Discovery Island. Nice. Some nice pans here.
a lot of boatless swanless boats jokes in the feed right now.
Boatless swans.
That's a
There's the
swan boat
bullseye
without a
pool.
swan.
There's the bullseye pool.
I feel the next shirt. Oh, it just makes itself every night on this. Anytime we
does.
do this. I love that dock. The Star
Yeah,
dock
that's
Oh,
is just
amazing.
so awesome.
Starburst dock is great. Yeah, and that lived a long time. It's so efficient.
Maybe we do watch a Thunder in Paradise one night. Not on movie night. We'll just call it Thunder Night. Thunder Thursday.
Only if we're having Hulk Hogan live on the feed.
We'll see if we can get him on. He's a pretty good guy. I think we could get him. This looks pretty early in the morning, too. Oh, a little light bleed there. We're coming to the end of the footage there.
Oh,
here we are.
Polynesian.
Oh, wow, look at that band. Holy cow.
Keep your eyes peeled, Hal. This is great footage.
He's looking at the cups and the drinks.
He's like,
and
no,
the
no, you
food.
sit there.
Get out of the way. I'm taking a picture. Look at that.
Oh, the Eastern Winds. Oh, my God.
Look at that.
Look at that. Oh, it's
Look at that kid, his hands on it.
Yeah.
Look at that artwork.
Beautiful.
Wow.
Oh, my gosh.
Look at
Oh.
We've never seen up close footage like that before, or
Never.
even pictures. Yeah.
Copper lamps. Look at that.
Yeah, the copper hadn't even turned yet. We saw that in one of our other old 16mm films where the copper was.
And that's all you get.
Well, we're back in the park.
And I'm good. Thank you. That was the best birthday present I could have asked for.
Oh.
Look at that. We timed it perfectly, right?
Yep.
Somebody said, did you used to rent that? It was an excursion type thing, wasn't it? You could take it out with like 10 people or 20.
It was both. It was an excursion thing that they ran some nights, like cocktail cruises, and then you could also rent it for corporate events.
Yeah, it started out as an overflow conference room type thing, and then eventually they actually let people cruise on it as well. Yeah, you could take evening cruises with cocktails. It's lovely. All right, so apparently it was reopened as Discovery Island in 1976. So
Okay.
Somebody has 78 on here.
If this sort is accurate,
So this is like 70. Are we thinking this is 75 then?
let me see when the Rescuers came out just to confirm.
Yes, Bob Rowan. I am wearing the. Is it Bob that said it? The Eastern Wind shirt.
Oh, that's
yeah,
right.
You
you
can
are.
get it on our
that.
website.
Yep.
So the Rescuers came out in 77.
So this has to be. Well, see, people are saying 78 is when Discovery Island.
Oh, okay.
The name.
There's those fish again.
20,000.
Riveting.
No, we're yeah.
Now we have to look at everybody's clothes.
You know what's funny is that all the footage we have had of 20K has been from the if you're going forward, the left sub, the left side of the sub. Most of the footage is always the left. We've not seen any right because the groupers are always facing to the right. You would have them facing to the left. So, just my brain working here tonight, folks.
Nice Skyway shots
Back
here.
into the left.
Oh, wow, look at the ticket sign on the Skyway.
Ticket or 10 cents, right? Was that 110?
What's that line for?
There's that clock. There's that newsman. Yeah, there's that clock. One of the only very few clocks
There's
in
that
the Magic
swing.
Kingdom.
Woo.
Yeah.
Great teal color. Look at that.
And the fountain that's got blown away in Fantasyland right there as you would walk up to Small World.
Popped in the car, and we've had enough. Now we're coming back.
U-turn. It's those elephants again.
We're heading to the Contemporary, it looks like. We going back?
It's a panel truck there. Hans
No, we're
Gruber's
back
in the
in.
back.
Was that horse wearing a hat?
It does have a little
something.
It's got a little fascinator on.
Got a nice little shot looking up. This is a lot different than the gentleman's film we watched the other night. Remember that one? Every 3 seconds it was changing.
Yeah.
Quick. Oh, we're starting to get a little red bleed there. We might be moving into another reel. Here it comes. There it is.
Easy.
There it is.
All right, we got
Oh, there
Starjets.
are.
We got
Starjets.
We have to see what's playing, whether it's Mission to Mars or Flight to the Moon.
Oh yeah, if we can tell.
Could you please zoom in for me?
We got more fountains.
They're ramped down, you see, so that they didn't spray everybody. That's when they throttled them back.
Night of the Fountains, though, huh?
Speedway.
Nice Speedway shot.
Hey. Look at that with flames on it.
That must be their kids.
Oh yeah. Crazy
Whoa.
driver.
That's when they took the flames out of the rides, JT, and put them in the cars.
A lot of flags.
I'm so happy that people took this type of time to photograph these things.
That person was like, I'm going to take a picture of every flag.
Yeah. Just like the guy got all the coat of arms in
At
King
some point,
Stephen.
Hal Bowers will need to make all the flags of the Grand Prix T-shirt.
That's right.
I have to get them all for him.
Flames on your car are something you guys can do at home. You don't need Disney to do it.
No, but just don't.
We should overtake it one night and everybody just come armed with magnet flames and just jump on the cars as we go out, throw our magnet flames on them and take off. Look at that. Look how clean that is. Wow.
No oil droppings. Nothing.
Okay, teacups are uncovered there, Hal.
What?
Yeah.
This is okay. This must be a mishmash of.
Yeah, that's.
Because they get covered earlier.
Yeah, they're by like 73, 74.
Yeah, 73. They.
I'll go back
sure it was
through.
teacups and not Dumbo.
That was
that you were
teacups.
looking at?
That was
All right.
teacups.
Yes.
I'll go back and check to make sure we don't have two films
There
mashed
they
up
are.
together.
Wow, that's something.
There's a jaunty tune being played.
This looks
We'll
very
never know.
This looks very patriotic right here.
Jazz hands with a hat.
I slowed this down to 16 frames per second. It still looks fast.
That's
no,
just
they-
how they were. People
they were
were
on-
excited back then.
They did a lot of speed in the 70s.
That's true.
There's a lot of magic.
Whoa! Holy cow!
Got a birthday shout out on the chat
Oh,
here.
good, a parade. Another one.
Go ahead, JT. We got a parade.
Laney, happy birthday for Andy's mom there. It's her
Happy birthday.
today. How you
Happy
guys?
birthday! All right,
You and Hal sharing it, yeah.
another. Oh yeah, this has got to be.
Hal, I will verify from the camera's gate marks that this is indeed the same set of same
Okay.
film from start to finish. And
Man,
then,
that guy had a fantastic set of Elvis glasses.
You get your 10x
Just keep
loop
doing
out
it.
and
Okay,
Aviator sunglasses.
look at all the bicentennial stuff. Oh yeah,
Oh yeah, there it is. Yeah, there it is. Yep.
everybody's into the full
There's a
regalia.
Pooh for president. That's a Pooh for president
was it?
float.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, this is probably 76.
yeah,
remember,
I
it
think
was
we got
so
I think,
much less crowded back then.
I think what we had. Well, what's interesting is that both pieces of the film have the flame out when it's changing from one reel to the other. So I'm wondering if this is the same people but two different trips, and that's why I see the markers of the cameras the same way. I'll have to go back.
Could be.
There's the
Vote for
flame out.
Pooh.
All right, last reel of film here, guys.
That burn is that's every time there was a launch at Kennedy, you got a little bit of the flame on the left hand side.
That's not what it is.
No,
Don't
it's
believe Todd.
No, don't believe me.
I thought it was.
Hey,
good for the
something's on
X-ray
fire.
machines. Oh yeah,
It's the burning cabin.
it's my heart. Okay,
Oh, the train.
no Beacon Joe at the alligator swamp. And I know we have that's dated too somewhere.
It's the fife and drums.
It's the ceremony. Those are the
he's
Sons
kids.
of
proclamating-
Liberty.
He's proclamating.
Ooh,
short
I like
notes.
this shot.
Watch how this ends, Hal. This is great. This is great. So there's construction.
Looks like a monorail
they're-
driving through.
again, they're building the Plaza Pavilion.
Yeah, they're at the top of the contemporary. Are they at the top of the contemporary there?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's where they are. Yeah.
Oh, I like that.
If I see a wave roll off of the wave machine, I'm going to cry.
Happy birthday, Hal.
Look at this.
Oh, it's carousel of progress instruction.
What would be great is if the camera just keeps going up into the air like the end of the Muppet movie. Like it just keeps.
That's right. Look at the center island there with all the white sand beaches. I mean,
Yeah, wow.
and that was
Glenn
Surf.
Campbell.
We were Surf Riders Beach was just over there on that pan as well. Glenn Campbell's search party. Yeah, he's out there somewhere. He's right about there, a little to the left, a little to the left.
Oh, thank you for zooming in on the construction, sir.
Yeah.
How you're going to inspect this frame by frame?
We are.
I
We
think.
can Zapruder the hell out of this one.
Yeah.
Wait, okay.
There it is.
Wait, am I just noticing that there was no Wedway in that?
Yeah, there was
That's
not.
it. Too late.
So I'm
late.
I'm
It's
wondering
over.
if we had a mishmash of two different years of films from the same family. You know what I mean? That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking we might.
Well,
have.
wouldn't a lot of people, I guess, at some point go, "Oh, let me take all my Walt Disney World stuff and put it together
Yeah.
into one presentation."
Splice it together.
Yeah. And some
Shows you
people
the
didn't.
importance of the date coding on the camcorders. You know, the little press the button
Yeah.
and the date shows up.
And as we discussed, that was sometimes put on the film as well, too. So, All right, so JT, you're gonna have a job here in a little bit.
Okay.
Let me rearrange our Zoom here for everybody. So we're gonna move you guys down to the bottom of the Zoom, like this. And let me jump over to our restoration demo here. I know it's gonna look it's gonna look a little weird. It's gonna look a little weird. Just
look at that.
Just
getting a little crazy here tonight.
It's gonna get a little crazy. Okay, so that works. Let me make you guys a little bit bigger, though. We can give you a little more space. All right, does that work? Oh, there we go. Move you up a little bit.
Somebody said, "Uh-oh, better make another drink."
All right. I think that works. That will do for now. So let me move this down here.
That'll do, Pig.
That'll do. All right. So I'm gonna unshare the window here in a second. Okay. So we want to talk tonight a little bit about restoration. So JT, your job is this. I have to keep a couple things minimized, so I can't see comments and questions incoming in. So as they come in, JT can feed them over to me.
I will
and
feed.
I'm going to ask you. So there's a couple things that we wanted to show you. One, we attempted to demonstrate a few weeks ago, threading a film and projecting it on the wall. We'll do that again when we have that perfected. But
can't wait.
I promise, longer cord. We'll do it. We'll do it right. But tonight, what we wanted to show you what happens and how we actually restore the film. So I've selected a short clip, and I wanted to show you also too the extremes of some of these films. So there's a short clip I'm going to put on right now as we're talking. This is from The Magic of Walt Disney World, and this was one of the crazy type of restorations we were able to do. This was a 16 millimeter film, and you can see on the left extremely red because a lot of the dyes had faded out. But if you'll notice, there's still enough blues and yellows left that we were able to bring back the color relatively strong. So this is, I always like to show this one day people who are interested in the restoration that we do, because I think this one really shows the power of what you can do from a color standpoint. Now, the good news, and that they really got it done on this one, I think I understand.
That's they're singing Joy to the World.
Joy to the World, yeah.
I would assume.
Yeah. This also has the best ending. Remember, I think this is the one where it ends with the father and the fireworks.
Just so everybody knows, the Three Dog Night song, not the Christmas Carol.
That's true. Yeah, that's why they're really rocking it. Yeah, I think this one ends with the looking over the shoulder. I think I forgot.
The fireworks.
The fireworks. The father.
The dad is nonplussed.
No, eat your peas. Not all the films that we get look like this, though. A lot of the films we have decent color or have slightly faded. And Brian, you and I have seen a lot of these over the years. Kodachrome is amazing. It has stood the test of time.
Good thing they got rid of it.
Oh, here he is. Here's the father. Yeah, the father was like, whatever. So we do get films that start to look like this here. Okay, so this film, I'm just going to hit play on it here real quick, and you're just going to kind of see it buzz through. It's a little quick, and you're going to see all the static and dirt that's on the film. It looks okay, but what can we do with this, and how can we make this even cleaner? So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to try to find a frame here that has some dirt on it. Just like these here, right? There's some dirt here. There's some dirt there. So I'm actually going to make a change in the software. I wanted to find one specific.
He's going to do a Windows update in the middle of it too. So you can watch that live.
That's right.
Went from XP to 10
exactly
tonight.
So I'm going to turn on a filter that we have that's cleaning, and I'm going to reload it real quick. And you're going to see just like that, it's disappeared. All that dirt and stuff has gone. And what happens is the computer compares the frame before, a couple frames before, and a couple frames after, and makes a smart, intelligent decision to say, oh, that shouldn't be there because it just appeared for one frame. And it digitally fills in from the frames that surround it. Pretty smart stuff. So the next thing that we have to do with this is we go into our filters, and we do something called deshaking. And I've already run the first pass, but to give you an idea, this is how much of the different types of settings that we have when we work with just the deshaking. So the deshaking actually looks at the film and tries to figure out how we can steady it. And then we use pass 2 in order to actually deshake it, and we can look at the actual film, the actual one here. So we're going to bring up, it's actually deshaker log that we were working with. That's great. And we leave it on pass 2, which is after we've done the first pass through it.
All I can think is Empire Strikes Back. One more pass. Come on.
So what you're going to see here when I play it, compare the left screen to the right screen, and you're going to see the frame actually wobbles around, and that will disappear when we finally crop. So
Keep thinking there's like a Jamaican witch doctor where if you have the shake, he goes, oh, you have the shaker.
That's right. So if you look on the right-hand side now, the right-hand frame is sliding back and forth and left and up and down, and that's the computer determining that it's trying to keep what object is in the center, that's in the frame, in the center. So it's actually shifting things around.
Christopher Brown wants to know if it was a digital fly remover.
A digital fly. Funny.
No flies are harmed in the production of our films.
I can probably turn one of the filters up way high and see what happens.
You know what? The problem was it wasn't a no-fly zone at Walt Disney.
Oh.
Sorry.
Somebody said, what software is this, Todd?
So we're using a variety of things. One of them is called AviSynth. We're with Virtual Dub, and the AviSynth is actually reading the file, loading it into AviSynth, and we have a variety of different filters here that we're turning on. So that you can see deshaker, there's neat video, color mill, resize, unsharp mask. These are all different things. I'm trying to condense down what we do into one single work path here, but a lot of times the steps you're seeing are broken up into 3 or 4 different passes to get the maximum quality out of it. And we're not even talking about what we did for Horizons here, where it's AI interpretation of bringing it up to a larger scale. So this next step is probably the most important other than color. And this is going to go a little crazy here on the screen. But what you're going to see here on the screen is this is where we actually look at the information on the screen and determine how much noise there is in the film, the film grain dust that can't be removed. And if you can see, this is the before. And if it's coming across, you should see a lot of different grain in this area. And if I hit preview, that will disappear. And we can do different things too to increase the amount. You can see I can take these way, way up, but you see how soft it becomes. You start to lose some of the detail on it. So we generally do different things at a different level to bring those down. We can also do additional sharpening here. And we can also enable dust and scratches as well as additional dust and scratches to get around ones that didn't make it or made it through the first round. I have this kind of preset for a good mode here, so we're just going to close this out.
Marosphere asks, are you scanning these at 4K?
The answer to that is no. They're actually being scanned somewhere between 720 and 1080, depending on who we're utilizing. 8mm is so small that even at that 4K resolution, you're not going to get much more out of it. 1080p is really pretty much the max. If we had something at 16mm, that we wanted to scan, we would do so at 4K. That's where it starts to really warrant that extra resolution. Also, too, size of the files, but disk space is becoming, a lot cheaper these days, obviously. Also, there's not a lot of companies that can do 4K in 8mm. There's just not many out there, and it is much, much more expensive and takes a lot more time. So through this here, you can now see that the sky and everything here, if you compare it to the left to the right, there's a little less grain. It might be hard to see coming through on YouTube, but you'll definitely see it in the file. And the next thing is we have to add color. We got to bring the color back. So I've done a number of different settings in here. And I'll just show you all the different types of settings. We can adjust the gamma, and we have saturation, the different levels. Although fortunately, this film didn't need a lot. And then when we start looking at different color saturations at different levels, your dark, middle, and light, this is where this one really needed it. Again, I click cancel. And the next one is resize. Now, what's interesting about this is we do have to do cropping first. This might be hard to see. I'm going to see if I can... Yeah, you're not going to be able to see this very well because it takes the full screen. But essentially what we have to do is we got to crop that video back down to get rid of all the extra things. And we have to go a little bit smaller because don't forget, because of some of that deshaking that we did, some of the film might be off screen a little bit. So you have to take that into consideration. So we're going to apply that resize now. And you can also see what it did is it gave us nice crisp borders. Now, purists may say, oh, you lost some of the frame, which is true. I mean, we could restore these and leave them full frame and you'd see all the flicker and you'd see everything moving around. I mean, that's a personal choice, I suppose. And then the last thing is we add a little bit of additional sharpening to it. Now, you might not see a lot here, but later on, it comes out. So in order to show you what this looks like from start to finish, I'm going to play 3 different clips. So let's turn off the display capture here.
Todd, Ricky asked, where and when did you learn all about this?
5 years
It's been
ago.
ongoing. It's been ongoing.
It's been
'Cause
ongoing.
he did all of his family films first.
Yep.
So
and just been learning it as we've been going on. I mean, Neat Video, which is one of the things we use. It's on version 5. We started with version 3. A lot of the techniques you see here are completely different when it comes to video. Some are similar. So yeah, it's just been, every time we get a film, there seems to be a different type of problem to solve, and some other really neat piece of software comes out that can help us. So this is 100% self-taught, and I will say, anybody who wants to try this, there is no one-size-fits-all perfect solution for any film restoration you're doing. You're always going to find something that just doesn't do what you want, or the learning curve on some of the software out there is just so high. But this took a lot. It took a lot of frustrating hours to get things working right over time. And but yeah, this is 5-6 years plus in the making here. So what I'd like to play here is let's show you the original. This is just this original clip. So we're just going to watch the monorail pull into the station and watch things like the palm trees, watch the detail on the bark, the balloon going by, especially the front of the nose of the monorail. And then also as it pans over to the right, you're going to see a sign right outside the station. So you can kind of see it says World Cruise there. So I'm going to then show the final, which you can see we've really cleaned it up. The shake is gone. We've cropped it a little bit. There's the balloon going by. You can see the bark, the monorail there. And then again, watch this sign. You're going to see a lot more detail on that, really crisp. And if you say, I didn't see much of a difference, there you go. This is what we did in that short period of time. You can really see all the dirt on the left-hand side flicking through. Now, I know, again, there are purists out there who are going to want to watch it that way, too, and say, oh, that's the way to watch it. Come on over. We'll thread the projector and we'll watch it that way.
This reminds me of the old denture commercials where they would stick the tongue depressor in and pull out, and it was the 2 different sides. One was clean and the other was still dirty.
That's right. I forgot about those. Oh, my goodness.
We'll have to put one on next week's commercial roll.
Yep. So there you have it. I had one other comparison here. This is not, any other questions come up, I figured I'd play this. This is just one of the River Country films that we did a long time ago. This is before we got some of the good color.
Oh, I love this one.
This was a tough one to restore. You can see, again, it's very red, but there's hardly any yellows left at all. And to try to bring that back, we did the best we could. Again, this was one of those cheap souvenir films where the dyes were just cruddy. But you can kind of see where we went from that. So,
Brian, Kai wants to know about still photos and how you scan them in, and do you edit them in the same fashion, or?
Yes, the different processes, obviously, but yes, they get color restoration, they get lighting corrections, they get straightened out a little bit if they're cockeyed.
Kodak's still better too, right? On stills as well.
Kodachrome slides are noticeably better than anything else. There's Fujifilm and AFCA and a few others, and they're when I get Kodachrome, I know I'm going to get good stuff. What happens is you see, like that film on the left, all the red, like that's just it's cheap. It was a cheap production because it was a souvenir film, so the dyes don't hold. The actual celluloid, the quality of the celluloid isn't as good.
And the chemicals that they would actually develop the film in were often not changed out as often as Kodak required their labs to do. There were strict restrictions on what you needed to do in order to be a Kodak lab. This stuff was just mass produced in a factory. The chemicals maybe were changed once a week, and the chemicals give out after they've done their job, and you don't get that vibrancy of constantly keeping good quality paper, good quality celluloid, as Brian was pointing out. And Brian, you do a lot of the slides. They take a lot. I mean, this all takes time too, right?
I do them all.
How long does it take you to do like a stack of 100 slides?
It's a minute and a half per slide usually. If I'm at 2,500 DPI, I think, I forget.
So I'm going to show
1,000 DPI, and then I can go up to 5,000. So if I get something rare, I'll usually do the normal pass, and then we'll do a high res scan just for our records if we need it.
How do you restore the audio, Todd?
It depends. Majority of the time, the audio is actually okay because the audio is actually stored on 95% of it via magnetic strip. So when we send the film out for transfer, and I should stress that we don't do the transfer from film to digital in-house. It's just we just don't have the equipment to do it. It's costly.
Cost prohibitive.
Yeah.
If you want it done right, the way we
exactly.
get it done.
There's cheap things you can do out there, but you want it done correct.
They come at all whitewashed, and it's just not. It's not.
So because it's magnetic, the audio is generally in pretty good shape. I might remove some hiss on some, but I kind of leave it. You really don't want to clean up too much. It's all single, one track. It's all mono, so it's very easy to work with. The only real audio I think we've worked on cleaning up has been Project Florida. That was a big one that we did. How did the work on that? I think we cleaned up Magic of Walt Disney World and obviously Horizons. But to give you an idea also too how slow this is, I'll just do this here. We have all these filters turned on here, and I'm just gonna save this out.
Yes, Bob Rowan, I'm always looking for more slides. In fact, I have more being delivered tomorrow.
Now remember how short this clip was. This is as fast as we can run this. And remember, sometimes this may take 3 or 4 steps. What we're doing tonight is we're really compressing everything down into, one master file. We're done. We're ready to push it out to you. A lot of times we do this in multiple steps. So this is 2.5 minutes here, roughly, give or take. I mean, they're pretty easy scenes. I don't have everything turned up to full high quality here, but just to give you that quick, 15-second clip. So you can do the math on your own. It takes sometimes hours to run these.
Do you want to talk real quick about how we get stuff off of VHS tapes and digital 8s? Because there's a fine art to that too.
There is. So to get film off from video, and as Hal pointed out, there's really multiple sources of video that we can get. We can get your VHS, which everybody knows is your standard VCR. There's Super VHS, which came out later. Very rarely do we get beta. But the other popular mediums for home camcorder was 8mm, high 8, and what was the other one?
We've done some Umatics too.
Digital 8.
Yep, digital 8.
Yeah,
and then
we've done some
Umatics.
Yeah, we've done Umatics, which are 3/4 inch, which is what all the TV stations used.
Yep.
Prior to moving to digital, they always used their big giant video cassettes.
So in-house here, we can do VHS, Super VHS, and all the 8mm. You can't see it, but above me over here is a Panasonic AG 1980. It still sells for close to $400 today. They haven't made them for years. It's one of the best Super VHS decks out there. So we put the tape in there. It comes out via S-Video, which is just a strange connector that a lot of people haven't seen much over the years. That connector then goes into a box along with the audio that then converts it to a digital signal that goes into the computer. And we capture it full frame interlaced. And not to bore you with super amount of details, but your old style TVs used to, instead of showing you just a frame at a time like a movie does, they would actually show you every other line. And so it would scan once this way, and then the next time it would scan your TV would be the other lines, and that they were interlaced together. Your eye can't pick it up because it's going so fast. But when we try to take that signal back and convert it into something that now is what we call progressive, where it's a frame at a time, you have a lot of challenges in getting those lines to mesh back up, and there's a lot of software that we have to do. So that's the first challenge is you get it on there.
Also, I think one of the secrets of that one, Todd, is it's got a time-based corrector in it, which that's what a lot of the noise and stuff that you see in a lot of VHS recordings is because it gets cleaned up by this time-based corrector, which is a huge deal, which is why I sent everything to Todd, because I could do it at home with, Firewire stuff, but like that time-based corrector makes all the difference to the world to make it nice and clean when it comes in. And then Todd can take it and do even more magic with it.
Exactly.
Jacques asked about when people have previously had their films, in his case, Super 8, transferred to DVD. Can we refurbish them from DVD? Not much more than we can do with video cassettes. It's very limited.
Yeah. And
if you're lucky enough that they have kept the films, even after they had them converted, it's a good idea to get them converted again using modern processes.
Exactly. The problem. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say the issue there is the DVD is a compressed format, so it's going to introduce some artifacting and some noise into it just through that. It's basically like JPEGing a picture. So if you can go back to the original source, you can get a much better version of it today.
Yeah, and if there's anything you do, if you're ever sending your videos out, please do not have them saved to DVD. It's the apps. So the interesting thing, we talked about dyes earlier, dyes on film. Your recordable DVDs are made with dyes, and those will eventually fade over time. I made a recorded CD of stored photos of a trip of mine from 1998, which doesn't seem that long ago. About 5-6 years ago, I tried to read it, and it took me an hour to get 100 photos off. The dyes were already faded. So if you think DVDs forever, get that data off of there now. But unfortunately,
even VHS is reaching the end of its shelf life, but they're still working.
They are still working. So real quick, what can we do with video? I'm just going to show a quick teaser here, gentlemen, so everybody can kind of see where we're
Here it comes,
next
his
week.
restoration of the Thriller souvenir video.
That's true. No, I got something better. So the first is
Top Gun.
You might not see all of
off a laser disc.
But this is for
That's
Ron
the
to
Top
watch
Gun
with
theme.
us. So this here is the original. You can see at the bottom a lot of this is how you put this on your lap and did this whole thing. And then just today, we're going to close that out. Here we are. As best as we can. It's almost done, but there needs to be a little more tweak. You can see we've taken the shake out. We've taken a lot of the jitter. We've actually upscaled this one. So as you can see here, everybody's getting excited. One little restoration here, and we've got a long way to go.
I see. I get it.
So it even starts off here in the queue. So that's all we're going to give a sneak peek on.
Wait, what does this mean, Todd?
What does this mean? I'll let Brian tell. He knows what we're working on.
Well, we already told him. We'll get to see it next week with Ron Schneider.
That's right.
We'll do a ride through next week with Ron with us and a full restoration. House stays in the ride vehicle.
Yep.
So,
well, that's the norm. How always stayed in the ride vehicle, right?
I shot the queue. Good for me.
Yeah.
Yes.
You got the queue, and
I'm a genius.
Yep. So just getting us back into our regular form here in the 4x4. So I hope everybody enjoyed that little.
And next Thursday is my birthday eve, so I expect you to be fully celebrating it.
There we go.
All right.
There we go. Be bringing some things out for that. Let's see.
I'll have my kids bring me in a cake as soon as I find some.
Todd, do you have the name of the? Yeah, right. Nice.
I'm sure you find a lot that everybody wants to get rid of their kids for their Stockholm.
Oh, right now they're just handing them out.
Yeah,
take them.
What is the name of the company that does the film, the telescene for us?
Oh yes, we use it, and it's not telescene. Actually, I'll explain a little second.
Oh, okay.
We use a company called ScanCafe.com. So, and they quite often have 20, 30, 35, 40% off coupons. So sign up for their email and wait for that. They do a great job. The 16 millimeter comes back in 1080p. The 8 millimeter comes back in 720. If we had a really good 8 millimeter film, we might want to send it out for higher res. And the difference between telescene versus what they're doing is telescene was an old method where they would actually project the film on the wall, and a video camera would be in front of it through mirrors and different things, or through a prism and record it. That's no longer. Nowadays, what's actually happening is the film is sliding through, a LED light is being projected behind it, and they are actually scanning each individual frame and then stitching them together into a movie format for us, completely uncompressed.
That's crazy.
Yep. And JT, I don't know what happened to your head. Your head's moving, but you're frozen. I don't know what you did. That's really weird.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with.
There he is. He's back in one piece.
Yeah, that's weird on this end. So, but Hal, before we go, I wanted to throw up on the screen here what
don't
you work
throw
on.
up on the screen. That's gross.
So, you can see what we have here. Let everybody know what we've got and where this came from.
Oh yes. Home of
see
the
it,
big
Hal?
silver ball.
I see it.
Yeah. So tell a little bit. You did this almost. You had this done the last week, right?
I did. We did this the same night. Yeah. So, well, we heard that fantastic narration from Harold and Yvonne. So we put together this T-shirt of "Home of the Big Silver Ball" because that just struck us as such a wonderful quote.
Yep.
So here we are.
So you can get that at retrowdw.com/support us. And so if you're interested in getting a look at that. So next week, we've got two things to do. One, we're going to go back to Journey into Imagination with the original Dreamfinder. And we're also, I think I might regret this, but I'm gonna throw out my 1980 film there. So you get to see me as a youngling walking around Walt Disney World. I think
is this Gold Key trip?
This is pre-Gold Key trip. So
okay, so you don't have a personal person. You have a separate car. They didn't let you drive the Herbie car in the parade.
JT, it's 2 reels. Well, it runs 40 minutes if we don't cut out SeaWorld. So,
Todd, is this the trip where your dad ate the giant hot dog?
No, that was actually before I was born. That was when after my parents got married, they went down there. You remember that where he holds it up, right?
It's a terrific slide. It's on our site.
It's on. If you want to look up the film, it's called Through My Father's Lens on retrowdw.com is the name of the film. It's also, I used that clip in Kodachrome Kingdom when we put that together with Paul Simon's Kodachrome. You'll see my dad hold up this giant hot dog in the Magic Kingdom and get ready to devour it. So, my dad was a cinematography major. We'll talk a little bit more about that in the future next week, but he took film very seriously. I grew up around it, and it's quite evident in the 40 minutes. So I will cut out SeaWorld. That's online. We'll just take a look at the Walt Disney World footage. There's some great footage from Lake Buena Vista, renting a boat out of there. I don't know how much we have in the village, actually, but we do have a lot of great stuff we can show. And then how we've got more in the vault from you, too. So, all right. Well, we thank you very much for your time tonight, gentlemen. I thank you for your time. If everybody out there, if you're interested in Ken, really appreciate if you can give a donation to us at lbvhistory.org/donate. We still got a lot of those ornaments out there, the leftover from Retro Magic. We also have our posters and everything that we include as thank you gifts. In fact, my basement has about 15-20 packages all ready to go out that I was packing up over the weekend. So if you did donate recently, thank you very much. Your packages are on the way. And also, gentlemen, we've been releasing not only the films that we talk about each night, but we also have released Retro Magic, and actually one came out this night if I'm
yesterday.
Our chat with Raleigh Crump came out tonight.
Today. Okay, great. So I can't remember what we've scheduled and where, but if you head over to retrowdw.com, or more so even on our YouTube link, you can check it out and see all of the Retro Magic films that we've put up there. So all right, anything else, gentlemen?
Just happy birthday again, Howard.
Yeah,
happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Thanks
Hal.
for the chat, super chats, people. Appreciate the donations on here as well.
Yeah, thank you very much. We appreciate everybody's time and sitting in with us tonight. We really appreciate it and spending some time with us. And until next week, we'll be back then. And until then, stay safe, everybody. And we'll see you next Thursday. Thanks a lot.
Bye.
Bye-bye.